Jon Jones just dropped a bombshell that's shaken the entire MMA world. In a recent interview, he revealed that he had already retired way back in November, months ago. But here's the twist. The UFC never made it public. According to Jones, the organization asked him to stay quiet while they worked behind the scenes, hoping they could eventually convince him to return to the octagon.
And Jon had been telling us for quite some time, I already told the UFC my plans. I'm not sure why they haven't done anything with it. But it seems as though as he continued to try and hint at what his plans were, the UFC felt like their hand was forced and they had to put it out there. Because at this point, what are we waiting for? Now, Tom Aspinall is coming to Las Vegas this week. He will be there back end of the week. He was told that a decision would be made by International Fight Week. Why I think this is ludicrous that it all went down like this was, we had waited so long for the resolution to this issue. Could they have not done something in Las Vegas in front of all the fans before the press conference, after the press conference, before the weigh-ins, after the weigh-ins, in the middle of the card on Saturday, before the fight, after the fight, presenting Tom with the belt saying, you are the man, this is the glamour division, you are the baddest man on the planet, you're the heavyweight champion, you've done it all right, everything we've asked of you. Why not do it like that? He's literally going to be there in a couple of days. Where every media member, every fan is going to be there. You do it like this? In a throwaway, midway through a press conference in Baku, Azerbaijan, in the middle of the night over there, when no one's paying attention, you do it like that? What is that?
This is the only sport in the world you can have somebody hold your career back.
Yep. I've been almost a year inactive with no prospects of anything. Just be ready, and we'll just let you know.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of difficult, like mentally, to.
Oh yeah.
This is the fight against Jon Jones. Like, not the fight is another thing.
Yeah.
This is the tricky bit where I really have to stay switched on, stay motivated, and. I'm trying my best. I'm trying. It's tough. As you said a minute ago, no one really knows what's going on behind the scenes apart from me.
Exactly. You're in office cooking.
I train all the time anyway. Just because I've not got a fight doesn't mean I don't train. Like, I honestly can see Jon's point of view. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's just about the title for me.
Yep.
I just want the title. That's it.
Yep.
Does nothing else really matter. So
you're like, let me do my thing. Let me fight.
I just want to fight.
And I think that's the respectful way to go about it. It's like, you don't care if it's Jon, and it's no disrespect to Jon. It's no disrespect to anybody out there. You're just trying to fight. Yep. I just want to fight.
Yep.
Nah, man. Jon's retired. What are we talking about, guys? Jon, you guys don't follow Jon on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that.
No, me too, actually. Me too. But the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career. We all know. We know Jon's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And you know, we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. You know, the contenders are getting sick of it. Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So Jon's retired and it's time that we move on.
Retired Jon Jones. Just as he predicted, Tom Aspinall, over a year ago, I think, said, I will retire this man without even having to fight him. He's never going to fight me. And despite all the umming and ahhing and all the fucking pretending that he was going to actually ever get in the cage with Tom Aspinall, Jon Jones has done what we always knew he was going to do. He's tucked tail and ran. Imagine calling yourself a goat and yet behaving like such a duck. I mean, this is like back in the playground. Jon Jones has got a bike. Tom Aspinall's come over and goes, give us your bike now. What you have to do then is fight. You have to defend what your shit is and say, no, you're not going to take this. And do you know what Jon Jones did? You have it. I don't want to fight. You can have it. This is unbelievable. The greatest of all time. What a load of shit. I'm sorry. Never going to call that him the GOAT. Ever again. Because being the greatest of all time is not just about winning. And that's what Jon Jones doesn't understand. It's about how you conduct yourself throughout the whole of your career. Are you willing to fight the biggest challenges, the biggest tests, go in there and test yourself against everyone? And Jon Jones proved, without a shadow of a doubt, his biggest test, stepped up and he bottled it well and truly. Remember this clip from like over a year ago when Jon actually met Tom in person?
Respect, man. All the best. Respect. All the best.
Do a quick picture.
Sure.
Yeah?
Let's get it.
A face off.
Okay. He wouldn't even face off with Tom Aspinall, let alone get in a cage with him. And after all of the fannying around and waiting for Jon Jones to man up and strap his balls on and defend his heavyweight title, because you've never really earned it. You beat a guy who wasn't even the champion. You beat Stipe. Oh my God, what a farce that fight was. That will go down as the most pointless, pathetic fight I can imagine in a world title.
And that's exactly what has fans and fighters furious. While Jon Jones quietly stepped away from the spotlight, Tom Aspinall was left hanging, training daily, staying ready, being told by the UFC to hold off, just in case that elusive fight with Jones happened. But now it looks like that matchup may have never even been realistic. For months, Aspinall's career was put on hold, all to accommodate someone who had already checked out mentally and emotionally from the sport. And this goes beyond Jon's personal decision to walk away. It raises serious questions about how the UFC managed the entire situation. Jones claims he made it clear last year that he was done. So why wasn't he stripped of the title? Why was the division stuck in limbo? And how was the interim champion, who had just delivered a jaw-dropping finish to win the belt, left without a clear path forward? Tom Aspinall has since spoken out. He's done waiting. He's made it clear. He's moving on with, or without, Jon Jones.
Defend the belt against the top guy. You can't be the guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that pissed a lot of people off.
See,
Agree or disagree?
Yeah, so I agree with you. And here's the thing, like my whole entire career, I've always defended I've always defended Jon Jones. And I'm going to say this, like, I truly believe he's one of the best to ever do it. I truly believe that. I've worked out in the same room as him. I've seen his eyes, I see how he moves. But then when I sit there and I've always wanted to do this on my channel, is basically dissect a person's career. Go to the very first time they got into the UFC and just go through the whole entire thing. And let me go through it. It's like Michael Wanzer, I love him to death. He is so honest and unbiased. And he was like, dude, like, how are you going to say Jon Jones is one of the greatest of all time when he's fucking failed a drug test?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Like, listen to yourself right now. Like, you're lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Like, he's like, you actually look stupid. Like, you and GSP and Habib have never failed a drug test.
Yes.
Not fucking once.
Yes.
And you're sticking up for somebody who's clearly failed a drug test, right? Now, if you go, I know Shaquille O'Neal said, oh, he's one of the greatest. Shaq, let me sit you down and me run you through the whole entire career of all that stuff, right? And, you know, when you sit there and you peel back the onion and you start looking at that, it's like, you know, yeah, I always...
You didn't believe in that. That's not what you were about.
Yeah,
you
I didn't believe it.
So how can someone who did that multiple times...
It's like approval. It's almost like if you're putting him in the same category as
then
you,
you're okay
it's
with
like
it.
you're approving and
Yes.
you're condoning what he did.
But the damage has already been done. Tom Aspinall's momentum was derailed, his rise delayed, and all for a fight Jon Jones apparently never intended to take. Many fans feel deceived, calling this one of the most poorly handled situations in recent UFC history. Jones, once hailed as the GOAT, is now facing backlash for the way he exited the sport, slipping away quietly while the UFC kept up the illusion that he was still in the picture today. As for the UFC, they're being heavily criticized for prioritizing their golden boy over fairness, choosing to protect Jones rather than respect the fighters who are active, willing, and ready to move the division forward. Even now, Jones is standing by his decision. He says he was at peace with walking away, unwilling to risk his health or tarnish his legacy by facing a hungry contender like Aspinall. But many argue that if he truly respected the sport and his fellow fighters, he would have been honest from the start, allowing the division to move on in a clear and respectful way.
Jon accepted the fight, went to Thailand, came back, didn't want the fight. What happened?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Thailand was the end of it. You know, we were talking about it before that. But yeah, the fight was done. We had the fight done a long time ago. So why he decided not to fight, you guys will have to ask him that.
Is it accurate? There's a lot of reports about figures he was offered. Is it fair to say he was offered a lot of money to take this fight?
Yeah. Listen, he was offered what he deserves for that fight. Yeah.
I'll just come out and ask you. Do you think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
No. Jon Jones, I said it a million times, I'll say it again. He's never ducked anybody other than that one goofy time with the Chael Sonnen thing. He's never ducked anybody. And, you know, I think the reality is whatever changed his mind with this fight, I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. But, he's 38 years old, and I don't know.
Do you think if it was someone like Alex Pereira, he would fight them? And it's maybe Tom that he specifically doesn't fancy the matchup, doesn't fancy the age difference?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to these questions. Only he does. We had the fight done. Listen, our job is to make the biggest fights we can make and the fights that the fans want to see. And that's what we try to do. But the minute somebody starts talking about retirement, my philosophy on that, you should do it.
Did you know about the stuff that came out of Albuquerque last night?
I saw it today. When I saw it today, I said, "Oh, everybody's gonna think this is why he retired. Maybe that is why he retired. Who the hell knows, man?" But I don't know. These are all questions you got to ask him. We had the fight done. You saw me talking about it very confidently that this fight was going to happen, and then he changed his mind.
So where does that leave us now? Tom Aspinall is finally free to take his place as the UFC's heavyweight champion. But what should have been a smooth and respectful transition has spiraled into one of the most debated sagas in recent memory. Fans, analysts, and fighters are all left asking the same question. How did this even happen? And more importantly, will the UFC learn from this? Or will we see the same story repeat the next time a superstar struggles to give up the spotlight?